Paul. Call to order a regular city council meeting on this Monday, October 27th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. We stand for the pledge to our flag. And the proctor will be led, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Ms. Miller.
Counselor Wakefield,
Here.
Counselor Baker,
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor Miller.
Here.
Counselor Proctor.
Here.
Mary Moore.
Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Request a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Counselor Miller.
Aye.
Counselor Lacewell.
Aye.
Counselor Baker,
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor Proctor.
Aye.
Next item is approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call.
Counselor Proctor. Counselor Miller.
Aye.
Counselor Baker,
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor Lacewell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item, public input. Do we have any citizen from the city would like to address the governing body?
Did anybody, is this anybody's? Go. Excuse me. Oh, wait. Hi, my name's Rosa Hyman. I was on 101 Escalante, Ruidoso Downs, New Mexico. I wanted to talk about the Ruidoso Downs EMS program. I heard rumors that you guys are looking at shutting it down. And I'm sorry if I get a little emotional. I have a 16-year-old son with muscular dystrophy, Duchenne muscular dystrophy. This year, we had to trach him and put a feeding tube in. I rely on this program more than anybody does. Because if the power goes out or anything like that, and I have to call 911, and 911 cannot respond for 45 minutes or more, I have to bag him. 5 minutes of bagging him is harsh on your hands. I rely on the fire department when that page goes out, so they can help me keep fighting for my life. I'm begging you guys not to take this program away. It's not just me who needs it. It's these elderly people who depend on them. But if you guys take this away from my son, you guys make it much harder for me. If it's not for them, my son wouldn't be here when he started to not be able to breathe on his own. They were there, not EMTs. These guys were a matter of seconds, not minutes. So I'm please begging you guys to rethink this. Thank you.
That is an item that'll be on the agenda. Anyone else want to address the governing body? Cassidy?
Mayor, members of council. I'm here to speak on the same, on behalf of Keaton EMS program. Thank you guys for allowing me the opportunity to speak. My name is Cassidy Weeks, and I sit before you not just as a volunteer firefighter with Ruidoso Downs Fire Department, but as a neighbor, as a parent, and as someone who loves this community with my entire life. I'm here today to plead with you to allow our department to continue running EMS calls for the people of the city. Ruidoso Downs is not a big place. We're a rural town full of familiar faces. Faces that you wave at in a grocery store, in the school pickup line, at football games, parades, and at church on Sundays. When our citizens call 911, they're not calling for strangers. They're calling for us, for the people who live here, who know them by name, know their children, who know the roads, the back roads, and every mile between them. Each call we've run tells a story, stories of heart attacks, car wrecks, children struggling to breathe, and elderly who have fallen with no one else to help. On those calls, we're not just firefighters. We're the voices telling them that they're not alone. For many of them, we're the difference between life and death. Our county EMS does incredible work, and we respect them deeply. But they can't cover an entire county. When minutes mean everything, we simply can't afford to take away the one resource that's already right here. Already willing and already proven to show up. If we're stripped of the ability to respond, there will be moments where a mother, father, child, or grandparent waits for too long. And those minutes are the kind that never stop replaying in a family's memory. We're not asking for glory, recognition, or credit. We ask only to serve. We ask to continue doing what we've been doing, sacrificed for, and committed our lives to, protecting our town and the people in it. Every firefighter in this town, paid or volunteered, signed up knowing that we might have to give our lives for a stranger. If we are willing to give our lives for them, please allow us to give up them our time. And our service to them as well. Let us show up when they call. Let us continue to run EMS. Let us continue to protect our people. We're not just responders. We're part of the fabric of this town. Please don't take away our ability to help the very citizens who trust and depend on us. Thank you for hearing me, and thank you for considering what this truly means, not for politics, not for policy, but for the people of this city, for neighbors, and for your home.
Thank you. Mr. Scott, would you close that, south door? Somebody in a Lincoln Nautilus parked right there. And, my eyes, what?
They might have done no purpose.
You know, I hadn't thought of that, but you're right. Okay, thanks. We do have an item on the agenda that, I had no idea that we had the situation that we heard in public input, but we'll get to it. There's more to it sometime than what appears, and, I wasn't comfortable with, making the decision. I really felt like that we need an attorney involved and, the council and, but we'll get all of the fors and against for you guys. And see if we can't, find a solution that, where everything will be good. Anyone else want to address the governing bodies? Okay, let's go, Councilor's comments, Councilor Brock.
Ma'am, I'm sorry that you have a problem that your son has, but no one on this council disapproved of the fire chief or his people going out doing humanitarian calls until the county got there. This council didn't vote on stopping that. What we voted on, ma'am, was not to have a doctor on call to where someone could call him, administer medicine and stuff. That we don't want. We're open for a lawsuit. They will still be able to do what they're supposed to do. And that's answer calls. I don't know who stopped it, but it wasn't us. Council didn't do it.
Okay, and there again, we got an item that, we'll get that covered. If we can, just wait for that, agenda item.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, I agree with you. These people in Mendoza Downs know where you live. They can get there faster than anybody. So I definitely agree that we need EMS. For every call to be there. There's somebody there that knows like he does. And we have to take care of our residents. I definitely agree with you. And we had a cleanup the other day, and since he's here, I have to thank you very much for being with us all day. And WG was there, and Proctor was there too, so, and I just had so many thinking about that night, I didn't get to everybody. But thank you all for the help, I appreciate it.
Council Baber, did you have something?
I do. Somebody has got this mixed completely up. Nobody wants to stop him at EMS. The thing that everybody's been against is the medicine. That's the only thing. So whoever's telling y'all this other is BS. Because that's not what it was about.
Yeah, again, this is gonna be an agenda item, and I think we'll answer some of the questions if we can. If we can hold off until we get to that agenda item. We will address it.
It's your turn.
I'm okay. I've got nothing to say.
Mayor Holman,
Yes.
may I make a comment as well? So, again, I would like to address the same lady who,
Okay.
the same,
The
the woman- so the woman who spoke about her son indicated some kind of rumor that we are stopping EMS. We do not have an EMS system. And I mean, Ruidoso Downs does not have EMS. The village of Ruidoso does not have EMS. We all have Lincoln County EMS. There were 42 calls in the month of September to Ruidoso Downs, and our police or our fire department responded to 2. So of the 42 calls, the Lincoln County EMS responded to those. And having someone handy like our one fire chief that we have is wonderful. We're not stopping him. We're not hindering him at all. But Lincoln County EMS is the first responder, and they are doing a fine job. That's all.
Okay, thanks. Okay, let's go to the next item, mayor comments, since I've already told Council Baker, got nothing to say. So we will go to the reports under item A on the agenda. And planning and zoning is first, and
Yes.
he's already up there. Jeanette?
Hi, Mayor, members of council. For the month of September, we have 2 commercial permits. 1 conditional use at the Sears building and 6 political sign permits. September. Do we have any questions?
Anything you think we should know?
No, that's not. So,
Um,
that's a good question.
The food trucks that we allowed at the Sears parking lot, and the scene that I now have gone through with the owner, because I haven't seen any of them set up. So I'm not sure why not on
They
their
don't
side.
work 8 to 5 down there. But if you can't get them there, you can go over to DMV. They own the,
Oh, no, I mean the food trucks, they're not.
Oh,
I don't
oh.
set them up, I
No.
haven't seen them set
I
up,
hadn't either.
any of the ones we approved, so
I've
I'm
seen
not
few
sure what's
approved.
going on.
Yeah, Crawford.
Jeanette, have we had a big influx of these, wagons coming in and what stuff?
Well, I think, yes, because of the Sears building, they put out a public notice on their Facebook that they're looking for food trucks to set up on the parking lot. Those are the only ones that I've been getting calls from.
Well, my opinion on that is I think we need to slow it down. That's just me.
Yes, well, the reason we've approved this one is because, we talked to the owner saying that the other ones that we have approved, they have fallen through and they don't have a contact with them anymore, so they're not gonna set up. But to our knowledge, the second one that was supposed to set up, besides the coffee truck. But I haven't seen that one.
I just seen one that was pulled up right with this little, used to be a washateria right across the street over here.
Yes, he does have a permit there.
Okay, and are they, is our CSO checking on those to make sure?
Yes, we have to check on them every year, just like any other business. They have
We're
to.
supposed to have that permit in the window, right?
Yes. Yes. Mhm.
I risk. Thank you.
Yes. Any more questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is the municipal court. Do you have anyone here to report?
The Oh, I thought that was Marie, that's right.
Okay, then we will go to, and, we don't have anyone with the public and work, the public work. They have a family, situation and so they won't be here. Item D is, be Mary Castaneda on the financial report. Mary?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, you have your first quarter report in front of you. And on the top of your report is the recap sheet. And I wanted to highlight that in the first quarter, we had $292,444.89 more in revenues than we did expenses. If you go down the line on each fund, you can see that with the exception of the gas tax, I believe that's the only one that we spent more than what we got in. Everything else is either equal to or in better shape, which means at this point in time, we have received more revenue than we have in expenditures. So financially standing, we look good on the first quarter. Do any of you have any questions on the first quarter report?
Just a little bit here, maybe, wait on us.
So no questions on the first quarter report?
Well, yeah, wait just a minute.
Mary?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Tell me about this down here where it says cannabis regulation. Is that, we made that much off of that little store?
So what you're looking at is the beginning cash balance at 10,566. That's the beginning cash balance as of July 1, 2025. So for July, August, and September, we received $38.12 in revenue. I believe that's what you're asking me.
Okay, no, I was just wondering.
Yes, sir. So the $10,000 cash balance is from the inception of when cannabis became legal. And we received monies from New Mexico taxation and revenue on their sales.
We just received this, so
$38.
I didn't see this over the weekend.
Did you have a question, Judy?
No, I said I just received this paper from you,
Okay.
not, it wasn't in our packet.
Yeah, no, it was it. One up front.
Yeah.
Okay. John Proctor? Second,
Yeah, no, I think
okay,
I'm good for right now.
okay.
Okay, if you guys have any questions later, just call and set up an appointment with me to discuss and I'll go over it.
Okay, thank you, Mary.
Yes, thank you.
Next department, will be the fire department. Now, Chief, if you would, just go ahead and do your report. Let's try to stay away from the EMS because it's gonna be an agenda item and we're,
Ready to battle that.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, member, council. As you see last month, there's only a couple calls on there. And without going into some EMS stuff. We only did a couple fire calls, so of course, not running EMS, there's none really called on there. So I stand for any questions, I guess,
Chemical property.
You said we had 2 fires. Just
fire calls,
fire code.
yeah, fire related. So,
Was any of, all of them accidental, or is there any, questions to how maybe a couple of them or one of them started?
well, it's, as far as I know, believe it's still under investigation.
I guess so.
Okay. It's, yeah, it's still under investigation on that.
That's good.
So,
Okay,
through the fire marshal's office and RPD.
on the average, when you have a fire, when you have a fallout, depending on what it is, automobile crash, whatever, how many of you volunteers respond to it?
It really depends on the day, the time.
Just
You
a
know.
fall, just a ballpark figure.
Just the other day I had 6 that showed up. On the last fire we had. I had a total of 2, 4. 6. 7, I believe, showed up on that one.
And how many do you really need to actually combat a fire and get your fire vehicles there?
Well, in order really to follow through, there should be 4 people on each truck. So, but we're limited, you know, with volunteers and when they're
I
available.
understand, I'm not trying to throw rocks at you at all, chief, I'm just trying to get some answers that the people have called me about, because I guess they've seen you out there struggling a little bit. And wondering where the volunteers are at. I mean, we've got what, 28 volunteers?
Yes, sir.
And when you call out, you get 6, 7, 8, something like that, and you should be getting roughly, we've got what, 3 vehicles, 4 tenders, 2, 6, should have about 20 people showing up.
Yeah, probably,
I'm just curious.
but it just, you know.
Just curious.
it-
I'm just
it
curious
really
about that,
boils
that's
down
all.
to who's out there on that work on their day job and.
Well, I understand we have to deal with that volunteer fire department. I understand that, and I know that, and like I said, I'm not throwing rocks at you, I had people calling asking me, because I've seen you out there, you know, trying to combat this, they said they look like they're understaffed, so I'm not why I brought it up.
Yes.
So if I didn't bring it up, I wouldn't be doing my job.
Correct,
So
understood there.
but anyway, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Question.
Thanks, man.
How many of your volunteers are right from this area?
Most of them,
Most of them, that's what I was wondering.
yeah,
Okay,
there's probably what, 3 or 4 that's outside the area, but most of them are right here. So,
that's good to hear.
a lot of them need a lot of training, which we're working on. So,
Well, we thank you for what you do.
thank you.
And
One more little question.
it's just,
Do you still have your trainings on Wednesday night,
Thursday.
Thursday night now?
Every other
Okay.
weekend, or first and third weekend. I tried in the beginning. When I had all the brand new. To move it to once a week, and we just couldn't coordinate with everybody being there going once a week, so we dropped back down to. The minimum of the first and third of the month. So. But. If I can get more, I'd be happy to go past.
do you have anything in your bylaws of the volunteer fire department, if they miss so many meetings in a row? That they're removed from the volunteer, or is that something you just deal with, one-on-one?
I think there's a probationary period that goes first.
Probationary period first. If you miss certain amount of meetings that are unexcused meetings.
On,
People have family emergencies, people have jobs, we can't expect them to be there all the time.
I'm just wondering if you had something built in,
Yeah.
in there.
There is something in the bylaws.
Thank you.
Yes, Cal.
In the real world, even if we hired firefighters. The least we could probably give you at one time would be 6, and that still wouldn't get you through.
No, because they would have to go on shifts.
yeah, we have to come up with a shift.
Then we go back to that. I understand y'all wanna cover the whole country and everything, but
Even just for the city of Joseph Downs, you would have to break it up into shifts.
you can't cover them with 28 guys right now that don't show up either.
That's all the volunteer side, sir.
That's what I'm saying. If we got,
We can't control what other volunteer individuals' jobs are. We can't control if they're gonna let it go for it or not, nothing like that. That's why we try building our numbers that way we can get people to come.
well, I'm the other guy that if they're serious about it, they'll show up. If they're not, they won't.
You expect them to get fired, though. You expect them to
You
get
know,
fired.
but I expect their employers to, hey, they got a fire to go fight.
I totally agree with you, and I get that coming from them as well. But in the real world, though, that doesn't happen.
Sure.
So you can help me out a little bit here and tell me what would help you?
That's why I'm trying to build, get a couple more positions eventually. And slowly get up to where we have our own, and then we can fall back on our volunteers that show up.
Yeah, you can fall back on them, but I mean, I just think it'd be better if we could get some paid guys.
A couple.
Well, we don't have to worry about if they're gonna show up. When I
Right.
call them, they're gonna be there.
And I know, there's a lot of struggles in that too. Cause then when you start playing the game of, well, somebody else stays better or they have a better shift. And then we train these guys up.
I got you.
They leave us.
PD does the same thing, guys. It's just something we live with.
I know. So, I'm playing that factor. I'd like to see another 4. 3. I think with 5 of us, we get started.
Okay, then tell me this, what would it take? How many people would it take to run that place?
24 hours,
Well, you ain't,
12, 14.
let's start low.
Well, 12 to 14 running, You flip. To get started. You 1 or 2, be happy with. We can make it.
Because like between now and when the next budget comes out, I mean, there's all kinds of programs and stuff you can do.
Yeah.
To try this thing.
Yeah, there is. So.
I mean, we'll get you all the help you need, but I mean, I see what you're struggling against and everything, but, I mean. We gotta find a solution.
Paid employees. But then you're talking, dollar bills on that, so.
That's what the budget's about. That's what all the grants are that we can try for.
In the beginning, they'll help out in the beginning, but after that, then it's all on the city or.
Yeah.
Not only salaries, but benefits, a lot of times are. Counselor Proctor?
Yeah, I'm just saying that, I understand. Completely. And then if you did say, just green, say you got 3 more. Would you have somebody on call, around the clock?
Yes. So I'll do it like I was doing it prior in recent couple months. I'll see which one I haven't sat down and really look at, if an 8-hour shift or a 10-hour shift would be more sufficient. And then on call until morning. The next one comes in. I'll have to just play around and see what would fit best. And then on top of that too, if we're gonna run like that, we're gonna have that limitation of where they live. Cause we can't house
That's okay.
anybody at the station, cause we don't have living quarters, we don't have a kitchen.
Can we give you money to build one upstairs?
Well, that's our training, room. That was the training, room. But, we could. I have to see what we can do, if we can get away with putting all of it in one room. But. Be something I can look into, see. But then, on top of that, we're talking about running a 24-hour shift. Then. We'll probably need a couple more personnel to make it work to where we're covered 7 days a week.
Depending on how the call volume is.
Well, our call volume fluctuates quite a bit.
It does, while we're running EMS, when we're doing full EMS and stuff and fire, we average between 30 to 35 to 50 calls a month. And of course, it's peak during the summer because of the traffic and stuff like that as well.
So, 2 calls a day.
And sometimes we go 3 or 4 days without a call, and then we can have 11 to 12 in 1 day as well. We've seen it both ways.
I just think that's the way to go towards paid guys, because you can't, they got their heart in the right place, but you can't depend on them all the time. Like you said, somebody's on vacation, somebody's working, somebody can't get off.
You know, that's why
You're standing there with the hose by yourself, hoping he's gonna show up.
with higher numbers, and, you know, which in return too costs a lot of money. It's all the volunteer side and getting them over here, getting them everything that they need. Yeah, you know,
You're stretching it down, just get that.
yes. So, we put in for the grant, hopefully to get, you know, bunker gear and stuff like that. Last year, we were awarded the grant for new SCBA's, so our SCBA's were outdated, 3 years past, we shouldn't have even been used. So.
But then I go back to that, you got 28 volunteers, you're trying to get them all in here. But they ain't all showing up for you.
I'm not gonna say anything, because we can't control people's options.
It's interesting. You're not telling me nothing, but.
If you have to get those SVs for 28 people, you have to have one for each.
No, so SCBA is now mask and bunker gear. And it's better to have fitted, you know, properly fitted, and right now, you know, again, there's people that their bunker gear is a little bit big on them. You know, or quite a bit big on them. But, you know, definitely don't have one smaller, too small, you know, because then we'll go. But either direction we go, you know, my thing is, the more people we have, hopefully, the more chances of, you know, more people being available. But that costs, that's a pretty penny too.
Jennifer Miller?
Mayor, that's exactly what I was gonna say. There's more volunteers now than I think there've ever been. There've always been 16 or 17, we were saying 28. So there is interest, there's for sure.
But if they don't show up, it doesn't look so good.
I know, but.
He said the last structure fire, he got 4 people.
So,
Mhm.
And then the last fire, you got 6.
I know I had we had that one fire during the Christmas party last year. That evening, and I had every single person show up, you know, it was the first time.
We had more people than we knew what to do with.
so you,
So, I mean, it's just, it boils down to availability and, you know, our. Much like Russian blood, and we're gonna have it today or we're not, so.
And by the way, y'all look good coming in here in uniform.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next is the police report, the deputy police chiefs.
Mayor, was it council? I got my notes mixed up, so I'm not too sure if we got the right numbers, and did I get the right numbers sent over?
Yes,
With all the calls from dispatch?
yes.
Okay. So hopefully this time, we got them printed, somebody done an awesome job trying to get those printed so they're easier to read. And I think they were broken down by type of call, so there should be a lot more information on it. So, I'll stand for any questions on those. I know there's a bunch of information in those 3 pages. I'm gonna say we handled a little over 75 calls. Most of that being traffic stops. Our calls for service have actually dropped in the last 2 months. The officers have taken about 9 reports for the month of September. And 3 of those being, 3 crash reports and 9 incident reports. So where there was, crimes alleged, there were only 9 reports. And real quick, Mr. Chairman, you had a question at the last meeting about robberies. Knock on wood, our agency hasn't taken any reports of any robberies. So if it's happened, it hasn't been reported to us, but as far as I know, we don't have any open robbery investigations.
I understood there was one on Colorado Street.
And not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything listed in Colorado. Getting back to the numbers, everything is really broken down. Looking at some of the older reports, this was harder to read. And fortunately, the dispatch changeover, this is what we're dealing with now, sift through. But For citations, we issued about $4,900 in penalty assessments. So last month was pretty busy when it comes to anything traffic related. So traffic related doesn't mean just speeding. I wanted to touch on this a little bit. It can be anything from talking on your cell phone, speed, not wearing a seatbelt. Here recently, it's been non-CDL drivers again with those dump trucks and semis. We're having that problem again. We've talked to state police, so we want to strike team to give us a date and when they're gonna come up and help us with that problem. So that's being addressed. We're doing what we can to look through this. And they're getting those numbers. Every time we stop a truck, either the chief or I are calling in and saying, look, we stopped another one, here's the problem. Last week I towed it up. It didn't have its written insurance, didn't have a US DOT number, he didn't have a CDL, didn't have its tarp on, it had a chunk probably 3 or 4 inches out of the tire, so it got towed. We didn't even ask any questions, see what kind of fix it went down, so.
Yeah, Russ,
I try to obey the law, so, and I've got things that gives. Rat racing on a younger, I understand that, I've never got, if you want me to cop, break the law. Language different. Now, my question is when we catch all these trucks. And New Mexico state law stipulates, if I'm not mistaken, but correct me, that the truck driver is responsible for his truck and his load.
Yes.
Okay, I knew that. I knew you were supposed to have to say yes because I had a CDL for the city. I was responsible for everything. I turned the truck over and it didn't make any difference whether I had a wet load or not. It was still my fault.
Yes, sir.
So, but anyway, how many citations have we given for Jake breaks? Because I hear them in the daytime, start right here at the light, all the way down the hill.
I know the chief has issued one. I know today he stopped one. Coming eastbound. As far as the actual number. I don't know, because the only thing that I have is the output of the numbers. I don't have what the citations were for.
Yeah, you got 129 citations. Yeah. What included in?
Well, I just,
And when we call dispatch, when we make a traffic stop, that's all listed as traffic stop at the bottom, at the top of your page there. So it's not listing the reason for the stop, because we don't tell them that.
okay, but now, what I'm getting into here is that when a driver has a vehicle that unsafe, that you have to have it towed. Anywhere else in the country, they're arresting them.
So that is an option here. In order to keep the cost down from municipal court, because we would have to pay for that. There's no state statute that would cover all of that. So the state would pick up that tab for the jail bill. But yeah, you can, I mean, essentially, you can be arrested for any traffic stop that's in vain. It's not the best practice. We don't want to arrest people that are doing 4 miles an hour over the speed limit. Have you been fighting? Have you refused to sign it?
I didn't say anything about speeding or anything like that right there. I'm talking about CDLs, dump trucks,
So a lot of that
18
comes,
wheelers coming through here.
right, a lot of that comes from the DOT regs. I can't enforce DOT regs. I'm not federally certified for that. That's where the strike team from the New Mexico State Police can enforce all of that. So once they get, they will be able to either arrest them, put their truck out of service, whatever course of action they can take federally. I can't enforce those. That's why they have to have this CBSA certification. Local law enforcement doesn't have it. That's New Mexico State Police regulated it. They're responsible since they combined in 2015, 2016, when they combined state police and border trans. They took on that responsibility. And they're the only agency recognized to enforce DOT regs through the CBSA.
So you're saying that the state police are the ones that enforce that law and stuff, but you just got through saying that you stopped the truck. And because it did not, it's so screwed up, you had to have it towed.
Correct.
You had the authority to do that.
I do, under state statute and local ordinances, I do. But when it comes to the federal side of it, unsafe vehicle, all the stuff that the DOT regs mandate, I can't enforce them.
Understand that, but isn't there enough on them that when you do stop them and they're messed up, I guess my question is, does somebody have to get killed when that guy's driving that screwed up dump truck before we nail their feet to the floor?
No, if they refuse to sign the citation, it's an automatic arrest. So I guess a better answer would be a situation dependent.
Okay. Not a risk, I mean, that's fine.
Anything else?
Anything else?
I just want to ask one question.
Yes.
Is that calls every day?
So yes, at the bottom, is the day of the week, and then the hour of the day, it should be broken down.
Okay, no, I was just making sure.
Um, I can tell you, and the fire chief can probably agree with us. The day of the week, that fluctuates every day. I don't know how they're keeping.
Yeah, no, that's what I was just looking at, a lot of calls.
Yeah, I'm.
In case y'all don't know what we're talking about, Monday they done 108 calls, Tuesday 64, Wednesday's 56, Thursday 80, Friday 39, Saturday 19, Sunday 41
Yeah, it's, well, all
in 1 month.
Okay, thank you very much.
If I can, I want to speak for the fire department really quickly. When I first started, we had several EMS calls that came out with people that were unresponsive. We all know if you've ever done CPR for any length of time, you weren't by yourself, it's an eternity.
It's coming up.
To not have these guys, it would drive us bonkers.
Okay, there again, somebody's getting bad information.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate what everybody was saying.
Like I said before, this council did not stop anything from the chief or his people going out. He has been to my house.
Mhm.
For my wife. And they were there 5 minutes before EMS ever got there. Okay, I'm not against you, okay? But what we were against was putting the EMT on there. Or, intermediate or MT1, whatever. And him calling the doctor and administrating medicine and stuff. That we don't want to do. We're asking for lawsuits.
Okay, I thought maybe it might be a good, I think it'd be a good thing right now. I've had a letter that I received from an architect in Raleigh. And I was a high school teacher and coach, athletic director, assistant principal at Goddard High School, 27 years. Only 3 years at Red Osa High, so I know a lot of people in Raleigh. And I know Alan Tucker. And so this letter that I have received here, done quite well. And he says on Tuesday, and this is something that we can be proud of. On Tuesday afternoon, September the 23rd, I was stopped by Chief Joe Commander, which is out on the highway, I think. This letter is to inform the city of what a gentleman you have in Chief Commander. He came up to my vehicle with a friendly smile and greeting, visited a minute before getting down to business, and never showed that I'm in charge here. Attitude that so many young officers seem to have to display these days. As Chief Commander retires in the next few years, I hope you can replace him with a kind, mature leader who mentor the young guns. I don't know if he's talking now about you young guns or.
They'll be going hard forever.
And show them the kind of friendly, mature attitude that the chief showed me. Regards, Alan Tucker, box so and so, Roswell, New Mexico. But I thought that was, a lot of people feel that way about Joe Commander. And again, I do know Alan Tucker, and he probably just gave him a warning. But anyway, I can remember many years ago that Tularosa had the label of speed train. You know, and that's not good. I think we've done real well with our police here. So, okay, that takes us through all of the reports. Let's go to new business. Item A is resolution 2025-24, a resolution approving the budget adjustment request for the first quarter of fiscal year 2026. Mary, are you there?
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, members of council, I would like to go over the budget adjustments for the first quarter, also known as a BAR through the state of New Mexico. The very first item I have listed on there is the police department during the budget wanted to buy new weapons. And during our budget process, they had put in the $14,000 for the weapons, but by the time the budget workshop was over, they agreed that they could buy those weapons in last fiscal year and we wouldn't have to worry about it this fiscal year. But they did not get to purchase those weapons in the last fiscal year, so they are wanting that $14,000 to buy those weapons that they need. So the first budget adjustment request is for the increase on the police department by 14,000 for those weapons that they did not get purchased in last fiscal year like they thought they could. Any questions on that one?
Talk to us.
So I think there's some miscommunication or misunderstandings. The 14,000 was asked for during the budget hearing. And for whatever reason, it wasn't added to the budget or in the line item what should have been. It was deleted in time.
If you, excuse me, Officer Hannah, if you remember, the chief reminded us that during that workshop, he was pretty sure you would be able to buy those in last fiscal budget, which is why we didn't put it in this fiscal's budget. So I told you I would put it on this budget resolution to add to your budget because you guys did not purchase those in last fiscal year like you thought you would be able to.
Why was it deleted out of the cell?
Because during the budget workshop, you and the chief both said you thought you could get those bought in last year's budget.
I don't recall the conversation. That's why I think there's some.
The chief recalled it.
So,
Yes, sir.
this Councilor Proctor, Mary, so
Yes, sir.
what happened was we approved $14,000 for them to buy new weapons. They couldn't purchase them in the budget year that they had it, that they got approval for it. So when the new budget year come out, no one asked for it and it was dropped, correct?
Yes, that's basically what
Now
happened.
they asking for it to be put back on the books, right?
Yes, so the $14,000, because they were unable to purchase it, they are asking for an increase on their budget for the weapons.
So what happened to the 14,000 that was awarded to them in the,
So-
refined budget?
So when you talk about a budget, if it's not expended, the budget is closed. It doesn't carry over. It's not brought over into a new budget. A budget starts at zero, which is why.
Question with that statement right there, that's fine, we didn't have to go into big details on it. I understand that the law stipulates that you have to close it out and it goes back in the general fund. Okay,
Correct.
so that, I understand that, but now then, what the police department wants is 14,000 back so that they can purchase their weapons.
Yes, sir.
The ones the ones you have now, they don't shoot?
No, not reliable.
I'm being humorous here, buddy.
Yes, sir, that's why I'm laughing, not reliable.
So, so do you have any of them that, okay, you know what a flat barrel is?
Yes.
Okay, shot out. Do you have any of them that's like that?
No, yeah, the problem's not with the barrel, it's with the firing system itself, the firing pin, the extract and ejector. The former officers of this agency failed to keep these weapons cleaned. Horrible. Every time we've taken out, all the uncertified guys that are carrying, we've had some kind of an issue at the range, thankfully at the range.
Do you personally or the chief personally check these people's weapons as they're keeping them clean? Their units, things of that nature, maintenance is being pulled on at their level?
Yes, they're FTO while they're infiltrating, yes, that's what.
Rest.
Man,
Council Weaver?
go ahead. You go ahead.
I'm confused here. We gave you the 14 grand, but she says that you didn't get them purchased in time. Why? What was the holdup there?
So there's been some discussions over the purchasing, and please forgive me, I'm still learning this part of the job. There's some rules from purchasing from either DFA or state statute. Still not confirmed for sure where they're at. But the specifics of the firearm, I understand we can be specific for the firearm. We have to be specific for the firearm, for the holster, for the tack light, for the optics, and it's gotta be specific, or it's not gonna fit on the DVL. But I have learned of some workarounds and trying to work around those and hopefully to get these firearms ordered. But apparently it's quite the process.
So.
Yeah.
So you can't spec out the pistol that you're gonna carry, that's gonna protect your life or save somebody else's life, by whose authority?
Apparently there's something, and Ms. Castaneda would answer that, but apparently there's something in the purchasing laws or statutes that.
In the procurement laws?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So-
maybe we need to get you a copy of the procurement rules and regulations so that you have a copy of it to look at it. So you know what you're doing, you start ordering things like that, but
That could help.
yeah, that could help you a big
Yeah,
time.
help.
And Counselor Proctor, I have sent him those. He has chapter 13.
Councilor Miller?
I just thought maybe it had to do that we didn't have any officers at that time, last budget. That's probably why it wasn't, nobody was here but our chief.
No, this was just in
This has
October.
been this year.
Yeah,
Oh,
Since
okay.
he's been on duty.
I thought it said
No.
last year.
Yes.
Oh, we just now got officers, so.
Council Weaver?
So are we on track now? You can get what you want?
I would hope so, but once this money is put into that line item, I would hope so.
Because what I'm taking out of this, that they're telling you gotta buy a certain gun. Well, what if that gun don't protect you? If that gun jams, what's good's it gonna do you?
That's exactly right. That's exactly.
May,
Can't just order a 9mm pistol.
Right.
It's gotta be something
But you
specific.
need to know that it's gonna be reliable to you and your people.
That's why we done testing back in March. We contacted several companies. One company sent us 3 separate models and we put those through the ringer, shooting, drop test, all the good stuff that they've already done.
And you like them?
We like it.
What's the holdup?
Finding a vendor right now and keeping the cost, Mary, keeping the cost under 5,000, is that correct?
so the holdup is he can buy what guns he wants. The question wasn't presented to me until last week when I went down there and asked him what the holdup was on purchasing those weapons. So during our conversation, he told me that he wanted it to be brand specific. And I told him, unfortunately, according to New Mexico procurement law, he cannot be brand specific. He can say, I want this gun or equal to this specification of the gun. And up to $5,000, he can buy any gun he wants. So what I told him to do was to find 3 vendors who sold the gun that he wants, and he can buy whichever gun he wants, up to $5,000 worth from each different vendor. He cannot split a purchase order to one vendor and buy $5,000 and then 3 months later go back and buy 5,000 more. However, he can find different vendors that supply the one particular firearm he wants to buy and purchase up to $4,999.99. So I did give him a way to work around that $5,000 amount that seems to be the stickler for him. So I don't know where he's at from there. I'm just presenting the request at the budget to increase his budget because he was unable to purchase them during last year.
Okay, but my problem is, he don't wanna go buy, Czechoslovakian ammo and a Japanese gun that ain't gonna hold up, and you say you can't buy the name brand, well, that's pretty good guns.
Counselor Baber, I did not say that. I said he can go buy whatever he wants, up to $4,999, and then he has to find a different vendor to find the same kind of gun he wants. That's what I said.
Okay, but these guns, the guns that he's wanting, they're making them. They're not just coming off the shelf, they're making these guns.
I don't, is that the only vendor in the whole United States that makes them?
That builds certain guns, yeah. I mean, like I said, they can't just go get something off the shelf.
Well, he had a specific brand he wanted. Did you not? Hannah,
So,
you told me a specific brand that you wanted. I guess I'm confused.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Go ahead.
okay. I'm a gun dealer. I got a federal firearms license. And I've had one for 30 years. And I know quite a bit about pistols, rifles, anything you want to talk about. I understand where the chief is, deputy chief is coming from. He wants a weapon that's gonna be serviceable in length of time, in length of use, and availability for parts. That being said, you don't get those kind of guns for $300 a piece. You have to pay $800-900 for them. And you can only get, if you get 5,000 of them, you're only gonna get 4. maybe 5. And you're out of money, that's it, and then you gotta go somewhere else. Is that what I'm understanding?
That's correct, sir. These particular firearms are $720 a piece just for a firearm.
Okay, now then you gotta trick them out. So the purchase just for the firearms, what we're talking about, has to stay under 5,000, correct, Mary?
To one vendor.
Through one vendor, so.
He has $14,000 to spend, but he can only spend $5,000 per vendor.
So the problem we ran into in Mexico,
Okay, is that gun through state procurement? Do they have it?
not that I've found, I've only found vendors, and there's 1, 2, 3. One vendor, GT Distributors, is out of Texas, but is a New Mexico vendor. They don't sell this firearm because they have a contract directly with Glock. They only sell Glock. The other company is out of Arizona, which is Proforce, that's listed as. The third one is BMC Tactical. And right now, BMC Tactical is the only one that has been able to provide us the firearm, the holster, the entire kit at one-stop shopping.
Okay, what's the brand of that weapon you're looking at?
Shadow Systems, DR920.
And who makes it, the Shadow?
Shadow Systems out of Plano, Texas.
Officer Hannah, did you have something that you wanted to say to the finance director? You said you want to talk to her.
That was the answer to answer.
That was it? Yes, sir. Want to be sure we got it.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, so you can go to this company and get you 3 tricked out guns for the $5,000, but you can't go back to them and get 3 more?
Not within 1 year, that's correct.
So you gotta go spend it someplace else.
Yes, sir.
And so you're gonna have 3 guns of this kind, 3 guns of this kind, and 3 guns of this kind.
Well, the plan would be to get 3 of the same gun, but it would have to be from some.
And those 3,
And if they're on a state contract, kind of at a loss there. We would probably have to go out of state.
but the one in Plano and the 2 in Arizona are?
So the one in Plano is the company itself. They're the dealer that we would be using, the vendor we would be using is out of Gallup.
So you could buy 3 or 4 down there, go to Arizona, buy 3 or 4 from BNC, and then go to the other one?
That's, if that's how we're discussing.
That is correct.
It's the way I
Okay.
understand it. That's why you.
She just verified it.
I mean, if that's the plan, absolutely, this one is here, yeah.
Okay.
We can hopefully get
Mary,
this
can you
done.
give me the citation on, Mary, can you give me the citation on the $5,000 limitation?
It's in our procurement.
It's
Our,
state, are
our,
you saying,
it
Oh,
is
that's something-
the cities.
okay, it's not state law.
No, state law has a more open, amount. Ours is 5,000.
Counselor Crocker?
Okay, thank
Hey,
you.
Mary, what, could we go in for an emergency expenditure on that and go above that if the council approved it?
In order to, for it to be an emergency purchase, it has to be posted on the Sunshine portal at state purchasing for 30 days, and no vendor can protest it, saying that they cannot fill the order. So if I post it up for 30 days and a vendor comes in and says, hey, I have those handguns, you can buy them from me, then that negates the emergency purchase. And an emergency, life, health, safety, welfare, which at this point in time, if he didn't have a gun, of course, that's not a problem. You just have to prove it. There's this long form you have to fill out. It has to sit on the state for 30 days.
Okay, no problem, because he can't wait 30 days. He needs that stuff now, so.
But that's something that,
Right.
that the administration can come up with to change that about.
So she just okayed it.
So I was trying to find a workaround that would be very easy for him.
The only thing I see would be easy is for either this council or the upcoming council to put in a change on that and bump it up to $7,500 or $10,000.
Right.
If he guns you're trying to buy,
We wanna do 10, so we have some spares.
10, it's about 7,000, that's over $10,000 just to buy the gun. It's not to trick them out. Okay, that's a different story.
The full price, just for full disclosure, the full price from the quote for BMC Tactical is well over 11,000. Firearm, shoot, the light, anything.
And so state statute, a small purchase is considered 10,000 and less.
That gets you started big time with it. Okay,
You're on your way.
we can get down to it, we can take care of that one.
Are you okay with the budget adjustment for the 14,000?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll move on to the next one. So the next budget adjustment is for the court expenses, and that is in relation to adding the $6,000 from January to June, plus FICA and Fed, or FICA and Med, sorry. And then the rest of these for finance, P&Z, fire, are all part of the 7 individuals that received the $1.50 raise. Fund 29 is because fire protection fund received more than what we had in the budget. Their revenue that came in this annual was $27,070 more than we expected. And so I had to increase both the revenue and the expenditures for fire protection fund. Then Fund 30 is Joey is wanting to spend $160,000 of the emergency contingency fund, which you guys approved. But I don't have the expenditure in there because he was unsure where he wanted to spend it. So I put the expenses in there, so now he can spend. And then the CDBG is the,
Hold up, we're going too fast. Back up on that 160. We gave that 160 a long time ago when the fire first started.
okay. Counselor Baber. He did not know it was in there in last fiscal. This year, I have the revenue side of it, but not the expense because he was unsure what he was gonna buy, whether it was gonna be equipment, materials, or professional fees. So he told me what he wants to spend that on. So now I've separated it and put it into those expense lines.
So this money hasn't been spent?
That is correct. He has not spent it. That is correct.
Give it to Jay.
Okay, the next one is we received more CDBG money through the grant. in the amount of $462,000. So I had to increase both the revenue and the expenses on the CDBG monies that we received. In addition to our 750,000. Any questions?
Council Baker?
Mary, going back up here, you're telling me the court expenses, the finance, the P and Z and the fire increase was all for raises?
Yes,
Okay.
So,
Yes.
Mary, when you do the estimate on their wages and stuff like that, do you do a 2,080 hour yearly work schedule? 40 hours
Yes,
a
sir.
week? Okay, then you base it off of that?
so it's $1.50 times 2,080 hours, and then you have to multiply the 6.2 for FICA, the 1.45 for Medicare, and then it's 13% for retirement.
So you have to add all that into it, or you
Yes,
take it
sir.
away?
No, sir. We're increasing the expenditures.
Okay, but then in the long run, the employee gets it taken out of his check each pay period too, correct?
Yes, of course. Well, they
Okay,
get
so
their
what-
side, they pay their side of it. This is the city side. This is the 7.65% of FICA Med that the city is liable for, not the employee.
Okay, I got you. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Councilor Baker?
Mary, just one more thing. The fire expense, that was for the raise, right?
Yes, sir. Except for Fund 29, that it doesn't have anything to do with the raise.
Hey, tell me about it.
It's the Fire Protection Fund. They got more revenues in their grant than we had anticipated. So we received $27,070 more than what he thought he was going to get. So we have to increase the revenue and the expenditures to balance on the grant money.
Okay.
Increase.
Good question.
Any other questions?
Just on the back here, says the journal is out of balance of $204,728. How can we approve this quarterly budget for the coming year for the 26th if the journal is out of balance?
Counselor
don't-
Proctor, we discussed this last year. We are not talking about a journal entry. We are talking about a budget adjustment. The budget adjustments will not be equal because we're either increasing expenditures or revenues or both at the same time. So when you have,
Okay,
go
you
ahead.
refresh my memory on that, but you gotta keep it, you deal with this every day. We deal with everything, every meeting. So I can't remember everything I said last year. And I
No,
had a
sir.
hard- In the last meeting.
No, sir, I'm trying to explain to remind you of how the budget journals are different than regular journals. Did I make
I don't-
sense or is it still just as?
Sorry.
Okay. Anything else, councilors? Okay, entertain a motion to approve resolution 2025-24. A resolution approving the budget adjustment request for the first quarter of fiscal year 2026.
I make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
Roll call.
Counselor Lacewell,
Aye.
Counselor Baker,
This one.
Counselor Miller,
Aye.
Counselor Proctor.
Oh, yeah.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Next item is item B. Approval of, and this is the key word. Approval of re-establishing the Reynosa Downs Fire Department EMS program to allow response as non-transport rescue. I'd like to tell the citizens that the council is taking some criticism at least partially, I don't know how much. On something that the mayor did. I had a conversation with Heath. In the parking lot. We had talked about this before. And I guess, it goes back to your training a lot. When you're in the high school, two high schools in Roswell, each one of them about 1,500 students, so they're large high schools. And when you're making decisions, and with 1,400 kids, there's always, there's always something. I have the advantage that council or I don't have. In my previous job. First thing I do is contact the parent. You hear a lot on national TV trying to cut parents out. That's the last thing you want to do. Those kids belong to those parents. So you let them know, but you'd be surprised how many times both parents are working or you can't get a hold of them and you've got a kid that maybe has an injury, not much telling what, and you have to make some decisions. The last thing that I was taught is to make some decision where later Council Proctor kind of alluded to this in his last sentence. It was difficult because couldn't get a hold of that parent, this kind of thing, and you make a decision. Then I could have been asked, would have been asked questions. And where did you get your medical degree? Assistant principal. Well, I haven't. And yet you made a decision. This is what bothers me on our EMS program. And I had told Heath, because of the lawsuits that you can get in, as Councilor Proctor alluded to, this is almost a catch-22. And I can see where Heath was very, very troubled by this. And I simply said, well, we have the regular EMS coming. They're here. I'm not comfortable with us doing anything medically unless you're certified. It goes back to, I wasn't certified to make medical decisions. I knew when to decide to paddle a kid or send them home. But this is really serious, and that's the reason I wanted this on the agenda. For our attorney to hear it, I wanted our counselors to know that I kind of don't know what to do on this. I'm sure that Heath, had told him, and he said, I said, are you certified? And he said, I'm getting certified. And I said, we'll get your certification. Don't be doing this until you get certified. So that's where you guys were catching some flack. Probably, and that was my fault. So anyway, I see where Heath was having so much stress. I had told him to wait for the ambulance and this kind of thing. So that's why I want you guys to help us solve this problem. These lawsuits, I'd love to sue cities, anybody with deep pockets and this kind of thing. So I don't know, I wanted our attorney to be involved with this. So counselors, help the old mayor out. Councilor Proctor.
Okay, I think the law that protects them is called humanitarian law, and that's what they were working on, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, to a point. Now, first aid, I'm not an EMT. In the military, we had medical training. We had to know how to do CPR, lock a wound, things of this nature. probably is not as good as these two gentlemen sitting here before us right now. That being said, I know from experience, when the fire chief came to my home, my wife was unconscious. She had just regained it. The fire chief came in and he made an assessment that she had probably a slight concussion just by the dilation of her eyes. And they slowly started diminishing. And he took her blood pressure, her response in how she was breathing. And when the ambulance got there, he relayed that message to them. That enforced what they were looking at to get her out of there within about 3 minutes. So them doing what he was doing up to just a few months ago, I commend them for that. They don't, he could say, I don't want to do it. And that'd be it, because we are not they're not wanting to move anybody. They're not wanting to give anybody shots. They're not wanting to call a doctor on the phone and ask for advice. They're going to give humanitarian aid, and they teach that CPR, breathing method, all that. They're teaching people how to use the defibrillators. Okay, you got them in offices everywhere, and you got idiots that don't know how to run them. So, and don't want to learn how to run them. So, I, for one, I thought this was coming back to be where you wanted an EMT that he could call a doctor and give prescribing. We already went over that and we dropped that because that's a lawsuit waiting to happen on us. As far as what you've been doing, that's all you're asking for right now, isn't it? To go back to what you're doing for?
So not completely. So under, you'll have mid-direction. Either your basic license or up to an I is what I was going to try to get established here in the Downs.
So, explain that, what you just talked about, what you try to get established
He
now.
wants medicine and a doctor.
Well, either way, we have to have a doctor no matter what. No matter what, we have to have a doctor. To be able to. So if we run underneath the B license, we don't have to call, we have what's called a med direction underneath that doctor. So in the medical field, oxygen is considered a drug. And I, without a B license, cannot administer oxygen or assist you in with your oxygen. But once I get my B license, then I can do oxygen, Narcan, and all.
Our police even trained in Narcan, so.
Yeah,
Oh, they need that.
somehow they fall through the loop and they're allowed to do it. We won't be able to, we'll have to have a B license to be able to do so.
And why would that be? Because I had back surgery and they gave me all kind of drugs and I can't take them. I ain't gonna put that crap in my body, but they gave me 3 of them things done. So if I overdose, how the hell do I go and get to my cabinet to get that Narcan? Someone's got to give it to me.
Right. Right.
So that's what I'm getting at. That the humanitarian laws is what I thought you was wanting to work under. If you're coming to want to go beyond that, then we're gonna have to probably put this down and talk about it later on. I have no problem with you going back and answering calls and assisting
EMS.
the EMS when they come, just like we've done in the past. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I commend you for doing that. And you knew, you didn't hesitate, you knew what you was doing when you was at my home. I've seen that, flat down. If you wanna keep doing that, I'm hands up for it, all the way. But when you start wanting to do drugs and stuff like that and shots, I don't want us to get into that, because the next thing you know, you break a needle off somebody's arm, next thing you know, we've got a lawsuit. Then the next thing you know, Ruidoso brings us into their city limits because we can't afford to pay the lawsuit.
Well, we still, correct me if I'm wrong,
This not open for public discussion right now. They're doing it, so.
so. As far as I know, we're still carrying the insurance either way. So, you know, this, by being able to assist and do, you know, up to, I'm not looking to go to paramedic status.
And we're not looking for narcotics.
Well, and, yeah, it ain't gonna be long, probably, it's, yeah, it's just,
Glucose, epinephrine, stuff like that.
you know, if a bee, you're allergic to a bee, you know. I should be able to give you some for that, you know, cause time is the essence. By the time I get there, say 3 to 5 minutes, and then imagine it's another 5 minutes behind me. I'm not sure exactly how quick, I think it depends on the individual, you know.
Okay, I'm not trying to be the bad guy here. But if y'all wanted all this stuff, you should have got qualified. You've been here for 2 years. You should have got your license to do this stuff, and then it would have been a hell of a lot easier to come in here and ask us.
There's several of us.
There's several that are qualified.
You're not our chief.
No, I'm not, but I am the assistant chief and I am the EMS coordinator here according to the state of New Mexico.
But you're a volunteer now.
I am a volunteer, yes, but it's still to be done as a volunteer.
Okay.
Most of the agencies.
You're still not listening to us up here either. I'm trying to say this nice. The man has just told you what he wants to go up to. I'm just trying to be nice about this.
You know, I'm okay with being able to ring like we were, but I'm just thinking in the future, we should be able to offer that.
Okay.
And it's not, there's not a
Sorry
whole lot.
again, and I've asked this before. If, are you certified? You said that you're really close, maybe just one test. We need you certified. Is what we're saying.
Okay, but once I get my B license, so what you're saying is you still don't want me to be able to administer those drugs that.
See, I think we're back to the same thing as an assistant principal at a high school in Roswell. And I make a decision, and it could be very easily be the wrong decision for that kid. And the question they're gonna ask me, were you the one that made that decision on my kid? Yeah, I was. Okay, assistant principal, where did you get your medical degrees? You got a problem right there. They're already saying they're gonna take you.
Okay, you're saying that, so here's what I'm looking at. We've got one person, that's you, is full-time right now. We just passed, give you another full-time, and we recommended that that person be EMT certified above everything else, because the training for firefighter is less in training time than it is for the EMT time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that being said, we really need to look hard for an certified EMT. Then when you get him on full time, if somewhere down the line, a year, 2 years from now, we get you 2 more people, okay? Then we can look at a program for certification in what you're talking about. But right now, I can't kick that ball. I can't. I would rather you stay on the humanitarian ways for now until we get better situated and see what we look like maybe this coming budget year.
So as our attorney, is she present?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, you can be there and
Dan, do you have some legal advice on this for us, or any thoughts on it?
Mayor, unfortunately, the issue is new to me. I'm just hearing about it for the first time. It does sound like Chief is looking to not serve any less than he's serving now. It looks like he's proposing to add a service down the road. Am I right about that, Chief?
Yes.
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 Okay. So I think that I would have to better understand what it is he's looking to add, and then sort of assess the risk associated with adding that service. So maybe Chief and I need to have a conversation this week about what it is he's proposing, what resources that would take, and then what's the liability or the risk to the city in the event you add that service.
Proctor?
Okay, on that, Nan, would it be advisable that we continue to let him do humanitarian calls in the future until we get to the point that they actually wanna do this, what they're talking about, and then we bring it back to the table for that portion of it.
Chief, what would you characterize the service that you're performing now? How would you
So-
characterize that?
We'll have to still have med direction worked by a doctor, whether we're pushing anything or not. So we still need to get that part settled up. I'll still have to get, through the state.
Pharmacy license.
Yeah.
Even if we're not giving you medications, you still have to have.
Okay, what you guys need to do is then okay, you're naming things now that we didn't hear before. So when you bring us a piece of paper that's got everything listed on it, that you're gonna be asking for,
We already have that.
We already have that stuff.
We have no idea
That's
what
why
you're talking
I-
about.
But like you during budget, and that's why I asked for money during budget. Because I was going to go, we missed the section to get money through the EMS Bureau. So eventually, the EMS Bureau will be paying for everything that we're gonna do. When I came, you got budget time for money to finish up to get to this point. That we still gotta have coverage, one way or another. Rather, we're pushing,
So we gotta have coverage for y'all to give oxygen.
yes.
Okay.
But you can only give oxygen if you have a B license. So I have one of my guys that haven't got their license.
Have you got your B license?
No, I'm still one test away from it. I've gone through the course. I passed everything all the way up to my, national registry. That's the only thing I got left to get my license. And then I'll have my B license. I'm certified in CPR and bleed control, basically. Right now is the only thing I can do. But I gotta pay that doctor to be able to even do that.
The $1,200.
Yeah. If he's.
But then
still
if you
willing to
pay
do it,
him that
well,
$1,200
That's my problem.
is that a call?
Huh?
$1,200?
No, that's for a year.
No, that's for him to cover us for the year. That'd be our med director, basically.
See, that's what I have because if you don't explain something just right, and he tells you to give this, and you
But
explained it,
he wouldn't be telling us we give it. It's already in your protocol. So we won't carry anything that we're gonna have to call and get permission for. To give.
so
So you're going back to the medicine again.
okay, here's my opinion right now, counselors. I think we need to just let this go until our attorney has time to speak with the fire chief. Give the fire chief what he needs to hear what he's asking. And then our attorney get back to us, whether it's the next council meeting or the council meeting in December, or the council meeting in January. Whenever the attorney feels that the advice that she can give you and the advice she gives us is what I'll go with.
May, in the meantime, yes, in the meantime, I want you to continue doing the humanitarian or universal law that you know.
It's just the-
Yeah, nobody's saying stop that. And I don't know who come in here and said we was trying to shut down the EMS, but that ain't it.
Mayor, if you
That
would,
was where it was said we were liable. It was a liability. So
No, it's a law that you know.
Council Proctor, you got the
Okay.
floor.
I would like to see, Mayor, I'd like to see you lift the restrictions on the chief and, his permanent employee, the deputy chief, to go out and administer first aid, humanitarian act that he's been doing for the last 2 years. Very good, very professional. And I'm one person can vouch for it. You got a young lady sitting back there that can vouch for it, gentleman back there vouch for it, and I think we should just release him to go. If, we get a complaint on him, we slap his hand and turn him loose again.
Well, we ain't releasing him, we ain't stopping him.
It's the mayor did. I'm asking him to release him,
Lately?
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see,
you want some tips?
yeah, looking back on it, I can see that Heath's problem is really stressed over this. But I still want to go back to my statement, get certified, because I think our attorney is gonna say that is the key.
Yeah. Well, I
We're
want to
getting
see,
into a
even,
problem.
even if we were to pass this, without me having a B license, I would not be able to do that. The only people that will be able to do that would be the ones that have a B license or higher in their possession. They're the only ones that will be able to do it. So what I was asking was for those guys to be able to do so. Once I get my license, then I'll be able to do it. Until then, the only thing I can do is CPR and blade control.
Okay,
That's it.
okay, but these people that's got the B license are volunteers, right? Do you have a volunteer that goes every time you get called out for EMS, I mean, for an emergency?
It's biz. I
Okay,
have a lot more that show up to.
so you still, okay,
EMS
the
calls.
old thing saying is you're fishing against the wind. Because you have to have one of them every time to go with you to make this work. So what I recommend is that
Until you
we
get
bring this up after our attorney has the advice, gets with you. You bring us everything that you got to do, and we'll pick and choose what we think should be, to keep us from getting in trouble with law. We can't afford, okay, we're a little city that makes what? 8-9 million a year is our GTR.
Yeah.
Look at rid of those, I mean, they got they full blown, everything all the way around, so.
That's understandable.
And I don't want this city to become. They've got their problems, but ours is solvable, all about theirs.
Okay.
So that's what I was
Yes.
I have one more question. If you have a volunteer that has his B license, he can do it though.
Yes.
Okay,
He would.
oh,
I've been to your house multiple times
Yeah.
as a volunteer with my
Yeah.
DMT license.
Yeah.
And I'm able to do everything else that when he gets certified, that he's able to do.
yes. So if you have one, the volunteer that has it, they can do it.
They can do it.
Okay.
If I'm there, I'm there only to assist the med unit once they get there.
Okay,
So I can take the vitals, I can pass it on to them. That'll speed up their process of, okay, we need to load and go, or it just speeds up the process for them to get to a higher,
yeah, and that's what we need.
yes.
I make a motion to put this, on an upcoming agenda once the attorney has, spoken with our fire chief and the deputy fire chief. And they come up with a solution, back to us,
And to,
Assistant fire chief.
assistant fire chief, I'm sorry.
and to forget what the mayor told you.
Continue.
I was just, and I was trying to cover all the bases, and this is a difficult subject.
Well, once I also get some.
We can't afford to make a mistake.
And then, even with volunteers, some of them can go, or I'm not bringing, I didn't have enough time to sit down and actually punch the numbers on me. Last year alone, I know it was a lot, and
Yeah, but last year a lot on that, we had the fire,
floods,
the floods,
yes,
then you turn around this year, and I understand you have long overtime.
yeah.
Well, I didn't see nobody else come to do it. I don't know how you guys did it. I was over every morning at 8 o'clock,
Well,
by 10:30, 11 o'clock, with hell with this, and I went home.
yeah,
Or I went and helped, the public works department. So
well,
I understand where you're coming from. You gotta limit your time too.
with this position that was approved by you guys last, I will hopefully be able to make that to where they can cover the days where I can actually have time off. And
And I've been, Counselor, I've been okay in a lot of overtime.
Yeah.
A tremendous amount. But
We still have monies that hasn't come to us yet from FEMA.
Yeah.
So when I make a motion, I have a second on it,
Yes, we have a second.
okay?
Counselor Lacewell?
He needs to restate the motion. That's not on the agenda. The,
If I could correct, you said you postponed the motion and
Okay, I would like to postpone item B,
yes,
as it's stated, until a further date that our attorney and the chief can get with us to put it back on the agenda.
okay, and that's been seconded. So my vote is yes, I agree with that motion, Counselor Proctor.
Counselor Miller?
As long as they can continue doing what they had.
That's what we're
So
doing.
let's
Counselor
get-
Hubert?
Yes, ma'am.
it's two
Counselor
yeses.
Yes.
And Counselor Buckner, motion carried.
Okay, get with our attorney on
I will.
that, chief, and really work with her, give her time to investigate this, to look into it, cause this is her first ball game in this, so just, and good luck on.
Yes, yeah, appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Chief. Item C under new business is approval of the addition of 3 full-time certified police officer positions to the city of Red Oak Downs Police Department. Deputy Chief.
Mayor, members of council, good to see you all again. So, 3 positions. I would love 3 positions, I would love 5 positions. Sitting down the last 2 days. Putting together these numbers, Ms. Miller from HR to help me see the bigger picture. 3 is a lot. If we were to ask and get approved tonight for 3 people, it's gonna be $366,000. I think right now, in the current state of things, that's really not fair to the city. To any department of the city at whole. So tonight, I wanna adjust the request that's on the agenda. We want to ask for 1 position. This position is gonna be a certified position. Certified. We have 3 that are in the process of getting certified. It's taking forever. It's going faster than paper, but it's still taking forever to get them on the sheets. So this 1 position will be a certified position. The pay would start at $29.56 an hour.
He asked 3. What's on the agenda is 3.
Yes.
Counselor Eastwell.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't realize, I wasn't on mute. It just, doesn't the agenda ask for 3?
Yes, and that's why I'm asking to adjust that to 1 instead of the 3.
Scratch the 3, put 1 out there. So,
And we'll revisit the other 2 positions that should have come up. I mean, with the growth that we're seeing, eventually we'd like to have a full staff. That way we can have not only 24-hour coverage, we can have 2 officers on the streets at a time and provide better services all the way. But right now, I think 1 certified position would suffice.
Yes, Council.
Buddy, in the first place, I want to congratulate you for even thinking about the money. I appreciate it. I do, I do. And I like your idea and got no problem with it at all. And come back after the first year, maybe we can get you another one.
Absolutely.
Council Parker.
okay, remember May this year?
A little bit.
Okay, remember, we discussed and talked about, and you gave up 1 position, police officer, to get this pay raise in effect?
I thought that was last.
No. Last year was when, last year, that's when they got, DC Knight come in here and wanted $4 or $5. So that didn't float the same.
So yeah, this year I don't recall giving up any positions. So no, I don't remember that.
I thought it was nice. I thought it was nice that did.
Knight did give up, he gave up 1 CSO position and 1 police officer position, and then turned around and brought the CSO back and still dropped the 1 police officer.
Yeah, from my knowledge, we didn't ask for, all we asked for was the raises. We didn't ask to have any positions that we did.
You didn't drop it.
No, I'm pretty sure it was DC that done it.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so, okay, so here's what I'm getting at. In the future, you can't drop 1 and come back and hit me up for another one 6 months later. I'm just saying, just hear me out. And hit me up 6 months for later to replace him because I've slept since then. Still got pretty good memory for my age. So that being said, as long as it's gonna be a certified, because I don't want to see no more non-certified. I don't want to see them. We've got 4 now, count the chief. Certified, right? Working. Ledford, all right,
Yes.
4 chief, okay, 4 of them. I'll just fix the name on. Anyway, got 4 of them and you got 3 in school. My question, where's the one that was injured in the academy?
He just got released Friday and he's going back to the next academy.
Okay, now then
So
the
that's
next,
3.
okay, so now we gotta wait till after the first year, still paying this guy, still paying him while he was on convalescent leave, right? Why didn't he go into workers' comp?
He did go to workers.
So the city didn't pay him then? Okay, thank you for that. I thought they was doing that the way I understood it. Okay, so now when's the next course?
January, the first full week of January, whatever those days are.
So we got two guys waiting. One guy's been here for almost a year before he's going. And we got this new guy that we just hired not too long ago, right?
No, so Officer, Nevadas is in the academy now, he'll graduate this summer,
Right?
and then Officer Jimenez and Officer Pendergrass will go in January.
Okay, but so Jimenez is the one we just hired, right?
Correct.
Just not too long ago.
Yeah.
So Pendergrass is the one that we hired way back here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he's just not going back. If he flunks this time,
He's done.
I'm just fixing to say, he needs somebody to help him pack his bags and move on down the road.
No, he's gonna do it alone.
Yeah, he don't even get the pack, he said.
Well, I'm just saying, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this, you're not gonna come back and say we can't get nobody certified. If it takes 2 years to get one certified, you're just gonna have to wait on it.
Absolutely. Because.
Or do you have one hiding in the car out there now to jump up, come running in?
I have a plug-in in here, still haven't turned in an application.
Okay,
So no, but absolutely, I wanna keep a balance of certified and uncertified. I need people that's experienced on the
okay,
streets.
real, while I still have the floor, real quick. How many FTOs do you have? How many FTOs are trained to be FTOs in your department right now?
3 of us, myself, Officer Ledford, and Officer Wall.
Okay, so each one of you will be training one of these guys when they come out.
That's right.
Okay, now then, I've done a lot of background checking on this. I had a family that's been in police departments. They're saying FTO should be at least 30 days.
No,
Okay, that's your,
FTO should be longer than that.
okay, so that's what they're saying minimum. So if you get a guy that's been a cop and he's got a certification, but he hasn't been a cop for 2 years, he has to get a job within 2 years of being a cop.
So you're talking about certified versus uncertified?
No, I'm talking about certified. No, uncertified. Guys, when they come out of the academy, they have to go through a field training,
So
FTO training.
that's incorrect. A lot has changed. A lot has changed. The FTO program is designed for an uncertified officer. Now, there are avenues for an FTO for certified officers, not too many agencies do them, but it can be done. So yes, a certified officer can undergo a 30-day FTO to learn our policies and procedures.
You misunderstood me, Deputy Chief.
The uncertified officer, he's gonna go through a minimum of 3 separate FTOs for a minimum of 3 weeks. And that's gonna rotate. He's gonna have at least 5 months of FTO. He may even have to finish his FTO program after he's certified.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, is when he comes out of that academy, he starts FTO and he just don't go get the car and take off.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need to know. That's, I read you.
Okay, we ready for a motion?
No, I am.
I make a motion to approve the addition of one full-time certified police officer only, position of the city of Rio Downs Police Department.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Counselor Miller,
Aye.
Counselor Proctor,
Aye.
Counselor Weaver,
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor Lacewell,
Aye.
motion carries.
Okay, Counselor,
Jesus Christ, for 3 items.
that concludes the meeting.